for God is the measure of the soul. Everything is linked to the love of God alone, and everything is linked to the love of God. A loved person. The original source of all life cannot reveal itself to you if you give it little importance in your life. As long as God doesn't have a permanent place in your life, His work remains unnoticed in the world and in your life. In this way you live cut off from this perception and you feel exposed on earth. But a person's earthly years are short. Soon you will return to the light. When you arrive in your heavenly home, you become aware of how everything is connected and why you experienced this separation from God. You will be shown what role you played and why you were given a certain fate. Gradually the need to return to earth arises in you again in order to expose the separation from God on this level of being as an illusion. Until this point, life follows life, for you incarnate to overcome separation from God in earthly conditions. This is the only reason for your life on earth. This is why you were born repeatedly, and this is the meaning of all human lives. God no longer a stranger. Today the veil between knowledge and ignorance is becoming transparent. The dense mists dissipate and the light breaks through on all levels. Today the conditions are favorable to see through this game and to clearly see your role in the game. This is how God can enter the stage of your life, because God is no longer a stranger today. You have to regulate earthly things yourself, because life is a matter of other people's circumstances and your own decisions. However, this is only half the truth, missing the most important thing, God. The main cause of suffering is the absence of God in a human life. It's about having God by your side in everyday life. Breath by breath with God, that is the key to a successful life. The only bond that remains. After such a life, you no longer return to this earth as a human being, but as a wise man who lets people share in this knowledge. Then you are the bright light on the hill and the stable anchor for the people of their time. Now go, beloved one, and connect with God. It is the only bond that endures from eons to eons and across universes. Everything is changing, a lot of things have to be transformed and some things have to be let go. However, the only bond you should deepen, strengthen and never give up is your connection to God. Love for God grows from this closeness and it alone allows your soul to blossom. This is the big game, and to stop participating in it is to have recognized yourself and found God. God is rushing towards you on this path of knowledge. The archangels. Channel, 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬, live love. Love flows, love heals, and love is everywhere. Anyone who chooses love becomes the designer of their life, and everything rebuilds itself. To live love in a loveless world means to withdraw from the world, means to step out of the matrix, means to live according to the divine and not the earthly laws. Your life changes radically as soon as you radically choose the path of love. This means that you claim all your power by saying goodbye to everything that suggests your own powerlessness. This means embarking on one's own transformation and clarifying one's own imperfect matters. Love can be lived by those who have worked their way through to their own self and who have seen their own unrestricted beauty. There are two types, those who claim to be in love and those who are actually in love. Empowered by love. Whoever transforms his lack into abundance, who has let the light into every corner of his soul, is empowered by love. Are you looking for love? Find it in yourself. Are you looking for the light? Find it within yourself. Everything is made of love. Remember. Remember what you came from and why your spirit took form. Composed of light, you are love. Composed of love, you are light, one in God, one with you. Remember. Because the time of unrestricted use of divine consciousness has come for people now. The archangels. Channel, 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬. God gives you what you secretly desire. It is time for you to begin desiring what God in His grace is able to give you. As long as you are busy with your own things and as long as you allow yourself to be busy, your life is subject to the corresponding laws. You attract what you align yourself with. Whatever you orient yourself towards moves towards you. Anyone who looks for answers in this world will receive answers from this world. Anyone who expands their perception and looks for solutions beyond this level will find the solution there. Both are permissible and correspond to a person's consciousness. What do you focus on? What are your units of measurement and parameters? How close do you really want to be to God, and how close have you already gotten to God? Where are you now? Have you consecrated your life to God? Do you go the direct route, or do you need an intermediary? Do you consider yourself worthy of receiving God's grace? Do you love yourself like you love your neighbor and God? Where are your thoughts during the day? Is God the focus, or is your everyday life overshadowed by activities in which you forget God? What role does God play when there is nothing to do? What importance does God have when things are going well and no urgent prayer is necessary? How far has your longing for God awakened, and how far do you let it carry you? Do you separate into divine and non-divine? Can you penetrate the veil of ignorance or lift it in moments of light? What do you really want? What do you want to live? Who do you want to be, and who are you really? And finally, where are you now? Then you have reached God. A loved person. All questions lead to one answer. You live with your questions and the answers until one day you recognize God as the only reality. This is how people's lives are shaped. Lessons are given and tests are mastered. The great learning and awakening takes place at all levels. Becoming conscious has affected all of humanity, and every person is adapting to it according to their abilities and mental maturity. No one is exempt from the changes now occurring on earth. The difference lies in the individual closeness or distance to God. The closer you are to God, the more relaxed you will experience this time. Only the distance from God creates the impression that you are in a godless world and that you were born into a godless time. God is the only reality. The new earth is formed out of God, and humanity is reborn. Everything that is now building up darkly and looming darkly is the magnifying glass in which the new humanity will be perfected, because the old does not leave this world through the back door. Loved people, dig deep and keep digging until you find answers to your questions. Reaching God should be your only ambition and motivation. As soon as everything calms down inside you and the waves on the ocean of your soul begin to dance for you, you have reached God. With infinite love, Sai Baba. Channel, 𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬